Hey guys, Pickle here. Want to tell you about our 2018 draft loadout, which is going to be packed full of fantasy football help and knowledge to make you successful at your fantasy football draft as well as in season. You can get your pre-order currently on the Average Joe Nation via our Patreon account. Make sure you sign up there and get yourself pre-ordered. All right, let's get into today's show.
Welcome, Average Joe Nation, from around the globe. Props to you for staying up to date and keeping in the know. Fantasy football, man, very soon you'll reign. The knowledge that these three guys have, man, it is insane. Fantasy football talk, hateful eight, they wear the crown. Hold it down, Pickle, Blackburn, and Trimboli, hold it down. Pulling up to LB Design Studio, we're getting loud. Season 2, headphones on, red light go, break it down.
Welcome back to the Hateful Eight Fantasy Football Podcast with your host, I'm Pickle, and with me as always, Blackburn.
What it do, folks?
And Trimboli.
What's up?
I feel like he gives this great intro and then it's like, what's up?
I'm just asking our nation, what's up?
What's up? All right, this week we bring you part 2 of the Fantasy Outsiders. This time we discuss some running backs. As always, don't forget to follow the show's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram accounts. And before we get anything else, we got anything?
Let's do it.
All right, fantasy news and notes.
Fantasy news and notes.
All right, fantasy news and notes presented by Body Armor Super Drink, superior hydration for today's athlete. Check them out at drinkbodyarmor.com. First one out the gate, you know what it is? It is that Luck Watch.
No, I've not picked up the Duke and started throwing it yet, and I don't want to skip steps. I'm trusting the process that I'm in right now very, very much. I'm trusting myself in this process, and when the time is right, I'll pick it up. There is a timetable, but I'm not going to share it with you guys.
Yeah, that's nice.
I'm beginning to hate the word process.
Right?
I think I hate the word Duke.
Well, fair enough.
Duke and process.
Duke process.
You think when he plays Madden, you think he benches himself because he hasn't thrown the ball yet?
Well, if he's got the roster update, he does. Otherwise, he has to manually do that. All right, next one. Dez Bryant not expected to sign until training camp begins. Hall of Famer DB Deion Sanders publicly stated the Cowboys should bring Dez back. We've said this before. We've all talked about that. I just think that the who sings the song? I mean, I'm really gonna probably date myself, but the first cut is the deepest.
That would be Sheryl Crow.
There you go.
Boom knowledge.
You know, I'm gonna give him the boom knowledge. Where's that at?
Always him.
Boom knowledge.
I just think the first cut is the deepest, and I think that Dallas made the first cut, no pun intended, and then on his way out, Dez made the second cut with, I'm going to come back and play in the NFC East, and I want to play you guys 2 times so I can destroy you, essentially. So I just don't think that they're ever going to mutually agree to part the previous and come back and be BFFs. Now, Jerry and Dez may eventually be BFFs again, but at the moment, I think that this is great for whatever, but I just think that there's no need. I mean, not to be mean, but I just think that Dez clouds the wide receiver room situation, and he's not a true wide receiver 1. So essentially, you're bringing back a wide receiver 2 into a mix of a bunch of wide receiver 2 and complementary wide receivers. You're just bringing in a guy who's got attitude and wanting to be the guy. So, I mean...
It's not going to be in Dallas.
No.
First, second, third cut, whatever. Jerry Jones, when it comes to business, he makes the final cut.
Right. It was over. When Dez left the building, that was it. So,
come to Washington.
Right. So, laugh of the day, Titans Delaney Walker claims he is, and I quote, the best tight end in the NFL.
No.
Is he better than Kelsey? Blackburn?
No. Even for the hate that you have for Kelsey this year, there's no...
I don't hate Kelsey. He's a very talented player. I don't like Mahomes.
True. Okay, so, maybe
So
if
your
you
hatred extends to Mahomes now.
If you take out maybe Gronk, Kelsey, and about, 5 to 6 other guys, maybe you could put him as the best tight end, and I think that might be still a stretch.
If Jordan Reed's healthy and Eifert's healthy, I like both of them over Delaney Walker.
True. All right. Now, this one was kind of interesting. Browns signed linebacker
Michael.
I wanted to say Michael Kendricks to a 1-year, $3 million deal. Now that adds him to the Jamie Collins coming over last year, and then Christian Kirksey and Joe Schobert. That makes I think that kind of solidifies their linebacker group.
That's beastly linebacking core.
The Browns just, right when you just think they're going to disappoint you, they bring you right back in with
loading
signings.
up.
They look good on paper.
They do.
Let's just be honest.
So, well,
Let's see if that translates into wins, though.
truth.
Right. Winning the offseason doesn't mean you're winning the regular season.
This is
I mean, they
true.
won the offseason a couple of years now, and they're like one win in 2 seasons.
But the future does look bright.
it does.
Finally. Now, the next one, wide receiver for the Giants, Odell Beckham Jr. to return soon. Now, Pat Shurmur, the head coach, has stated that OBJ is very close to being fully cleared medically and could return to the team's minicamp next week. However, if I'm OBJ, I don't know why. I mean, I understand that you want to show good faith. You want to show that you're out there. You want to show that you want to be with this team. However, I feel like this is a gray area, because let's say he goes out and he's running a route, or he's practicing on his own and he tears his ACL or something. He's still not really got that he's not got the new contract. So we're back in situation step 1 again. And we just saw with Hunter Henry out there running a regular route, not like in any type of like 5-on-5 or 7-on-7 drill, just running a regular route for a pass, and he's done for the year. OBJ's coming off of an injury that made him done for the year. Just saying, if I was OBJ and I was in his camp, I would say, we're going to go ahead and not show up, or I'm going to be on the sideline. I want to be there to show you that I want to be here for the team, but until I get a new deal, I'm not participating in any type of activities until I have to. And that would be how I would.
But anybody can get hurt. You can say that about Saquon Barkley. You can say that about anybody. I think he's doing the right thing by being out there. He's showing leadership in a way to the younger guys, and he's helping Eli out. So, I mean, you could say that about anybody not showing up and doing drills because they're afraid to get hurt. I understand what you're saying about the contract, but I think he's doing the right thing.
Now, if he gets that contract, he'll probably be medically cleared immediately after.
Magically. Okay, so today's news, Julian Edelman, potential 4-game suspension for performance-enhanced drug use. So...
You're bad luck, bro.
It's a pickle curse.
It is.
First Hunter Henry goes down after you put him on your bold prediction.
R.I.P.
Last week we put him on the
Edelman.
outsiders wide receivers, Julian Edelman.
He done.
He is on the outside now.
Be curious to see who you got today.
I don't want to mention anybody. I feel like I have to let them know ahead of time, like via Twitter. Hey, just so you know, I mentioned you. I'm sorry if you get injured and/or get busted for PEDs.
One of them, I don't. It's okay.
So
on your list of players today, it's fine with me.
So, anyways, and then finally, the Cleveland Browns signed Duke Johnson to a 3-year deal. So
I like it. Again, Browns doing good.
Yep.
I mean, Duke Johnson, we all know that that's his spot. We know what his role is within the offense. It's now the question mark. Now you've got Hyde under a 3-year deal or whatever, but there is an option to be able to opt out with little to no ding on the cap after year 1. And then you have Chubb that you drafted in round 2 early on. So
Duke and Chubb.
I'm just saying, that sounds like a TV show.
Duke and Chubb.
Duke and Chubb's fantasy football. Anyways, so I just think that, unfortunately, I think this year it's going to be some sort of backfield by committee between Hyde and Chubb, and I think Duke's going to have his own layout, I guess if you want to call it that, like what he's supposed to do, and then it's going to come down to either injuries, performance of whether you're getting the yards that you need to, or scoring when you need to, or fumbling. If any one of those start rearing their head, if you want to use that phrase. I don't know. I've heard people use it. I felt like
rearing
I should.
its ugly head.
There you go. So I just think that it's going to be a situation that now I don't know. If your name's not Duke Johnson, I don't want you out of the Browns backfield this year. Now, if you're in a dynasty or a rookie, you're drafting rookies, obviously Nick Chubb for the future is going to be fine. However, in a redraft standard league, I don't know if I want, until you figure out what the heck's going on with Hyde or Nick Chubb in that backfield. But Duke Johnson, obviously, you're going to take in a PPR league for sure. So, and then finally, the last, I don't know, do we have more news? Did I miss it?
Nope.
Okay, no, but Kareem Hunt apparently decided he wanted to go ahead and play a real-life Super Punch-Out at the resort there in Ohio. Up at
Straight Mike Tyson did.
I'm just saying, this is now 2 incidences where he has been involved in. I feel like he's okay. So I thought it was going to keep going. 2 incidences where he has had off the field issues. Now, neither one of them has had any type of charges and/or court appearances or anything like that. And I messaged somebody made a comment in the private group chat that I'm with. One of the guys said, "Well, he didn't get it. He's not been charged with anything. He's not been found guilty of anything. No one's pressed charges." Well, ask Ezekiel Elliott how that worked out. Zeke never had any type of charges found against him guilty. He was never brought before court.
Yeah, but there was court proceedings and everything else that followed with that.
Right.
So the NFL had no choice but to get involved.
I'm just saying, if they do any type of, I would not be surprised if Roger Goodell is not evaluating Kareem Hunt at this very moment.
I'm sure they got an eye on him, but I don't think anything is going to come of it.
No?
I agree with Blackburn.
You think this is just
only because the situation is different than Zeke's?
Right. Well, the guy made the comment. What was the guy that he knocked out? Was like, oh, well, I don't want to press charges. It was just an altercation between me and him, and I just want to move on with my life.
He glass Joe'd him.
Just
Glass Joe'd him.
So he was at, I think it was
Yes!
Was it at Putnam Bay is where he was at, I think? Up in Putnam Bay area is where he was at hanging out. Probably sounds about right, since he went to college in Toledo, being that region.
Oh, no, he's just in Ohio.
Ohio Resort, and he apparently
Well,
punched
that's the only one
somebody
that
else.
I didn't really know of.
Listen,
Right.
and I don't blame him. I'm from Ohio, so I want to knock people out half the time here. So
We do have angry people here. So, anyway, so that's all we got for the fantasy news and notes. Let's go ahead and get into the next segment, which is going to be our Fantasy Outsiders, presented by Fantasy Fate Ball.
You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. All hail the Outsiders.
Man, I so just want to do like the Sean Merriman.
Yeah.
definitely a visual thing.
Yeah, sorry if you're listening. You did not see any of the hand gestures of the Sean Merriman. And
if you don't know what we're talking about, YouTube, The Outsiders, or NWO, and you'll know what we're talking
Scott
about.
Hall, Kevin Nash.
Yes.
Shout out to them. I'm not even going to try to butcher the issue of trying to say, hey, yo, this time.
It's Year Bull.
Year Bull.
Yeah,
All right.
where's your bowl?
This segment is presented by Fantasy Fate Ball, the one and only Magic 8 Ball for fantasy football. 20 custom answers to help you make those critical start-sit decisions in the Sunday morning agony. Head over to fantasyfateball.com. Use the promo code HATEFUL8 for $5 off your purchase. All right. You know what? I think I'm going to go first this time since
What?
you guys usually normally go first. One of you two do. All right.
Just
So
going to do whatever you want to do today.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Both these players are going to be hurt tomorrow anyway. So.
right.
At least C.J. Anderson will.
I hope not. Spoiler alert. I guess I'll go into the C.J. Anderson first. C.J. Anderson.
My bad.
No, you're good.
Officially done for the year.
Officially done by the time this podcast and YouTube episode drops tomorrow. C.J. Anderson was my fantasy outsider for this year. Recently signed with the Carolina Panthers to fill the spot, in my opinion, for what Jonathan Stewart had while he was there. 2017, Jonathan Stewart had 206 touches a game, or for the season, which equaled out to almost 14 touches a game, which is not horrible, actually, for a guy who wasn't used in the passing game very often at all. So, but the new offensive coordinator I have here, Norv Turner, as everyone knows who he is.
Beast.
From the years of San Diego Chargers from 2007, I think, to 2012. But he loves to have a physical run attack, which I think that Anderson and, in some fashion, Cam Newton will factor. Ooh, excuse me. Wow, I had an indigestion there. And he also likes a shifty back, which was, in my opinion, is CMC. So, which he had like Sproles there in San Diego, where I think he used him a lot, and that kind of spurred the career that Darren Sproles has now. So I think that Norv Turner likes the balance of a physical run attack, but he also likes the shifty back. So I think Anderson and CMC are going to fit well together. But in 2016, which was the last time Norv Turner was the offensive coordinator for Minnesota, his running backs, and this was the year that Adrian Peterson only played like a game or two, were McKinnon and Asiata. Now, they both finished in the 34 and 36 running back spots, so running backs 3 through 4 area, not really well. They had 103 fantasy points for McKinnon and 100 fantasy points for Asiata. Now, the split was 48 to McKinnon and 38 to Asiata. So they still use both of them, and and don't get me wrong, I still think that Christian McCaffrey is way better than McKinnon. Don't at me on Twitter, but I'm just saying.
That's not a popular pick right now.
No, it is not. But I'm just saying, at the point that in his career McKinnon was at this point in 2016, I think CMC is better at that point in his career this point. So, and I definitely think that C.J. Anderson is better than Asiata at that point.
Absolutely.
But Stewart finished as the running back 34 last year in the Denver Broncos offense with 109 fantasy points, so about 7 points a game. Not great, not horrible. You like to get a double digits if you're in a running back 1 or running back 2 spot, but he finishes essentially a running back flex spot. So now, and we talked about this in the offseason when they first signed him, that if they brought in a lower quality running back to complement CMC, I would have thought that they're wanting CMC to be the bell cow, the ball carrier, and also the passing down guy, and a guy they're just bringing in this guy to kind of give CMC a break, basically. But the fact that they brought in C.J. Anderson makes me believe that they're not 100% wanting to put the full workload on CMC at this point. Now, I'm not saying that he couldn't in a year or two, but I'm saying at this very moment, I don't think they want him to carry the full workload, and that's why they're trying to give a balance in some fashion. So I see Anderson, in my opinion, projected out with more so of a red zone touchdown upside with a potential of somewhere around 4 or 5 touchdowns this year. I think it's more red zone effective for him. I don't see him breaking the 1,000-yard mark by any means. I see him somewhere in that 750, 800 mark, but that's just me. I do have him, though, currently ranked as my running back 36, which obviously could likely rise if there's some sort of news out of camp and or a potential injury to somebody in that backfield. I won't mention his name because I'm not going to jinx him. So
yeah, don't hurt my boy.
So I'm just saying, if we see that the snap counts are about the same 50-50 heading into preseason, I think that could be a potential telltale as to what they want to use him as. So,
well, I think McCaffrey's he'll get more playing time or be on the field for more snaps than Anderson will.
Right.
I just think Anderson's going to eat into his production a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I think
McCaffrey's still the one to have, though. Over
Anderson.
Yeah, the offense is designed around McCaffrey. I think, like I said, I think Anderson's just the red zone guy. I just don't see an offense where Anderson can have 700 to 1,000 yards. CMC's going to have his yards, and then you got Cam Newton still running.
Right.
That's a lot of rushing yards.
Or they want to take the pressure off. I wouldn't want to take the pressure off Cam Newton because he's taking too many hits.
Well,
right. So that's kind of where I was going with that comment was maybe they're trying to not increase McCaffrey but lessen Newton's running.
Right.
Which then Anderson then can come in and have exactly those stats you were just saying. And I do like the red zone upside though.
So, all right. I'm gonna go left is right. So Blackburn.
Right is center.
Right is wrong.
Well, don't you got another guy?
Go ahead. What do you got?
Oh, you want me to go now?
Or do you want me to do both?
Whatever, I'll
guys?
go first.
I thought you were go.
Or I'll go.
We'll go.
I'm gonna go with my my veteran here, Marlon Mack.
Ooh.
Right now he's number one.
No drop.
I can't find it.
Return of the Mac. I'll just do it.
Okay. Anyway, that's Mac Morrison. In case you guys don't know, YouTube. He finished running back 45 in 2017. 358 rushing yards, 225 receiving yards, and 4 total touchdowns. He only had 82 points last year. But he split time with Frank Gore, who is not there now.
True.
Frank Gore had 290 touches last year. Mac only had 114. So now you flip that. I think obviously Mac's going to get the bulk of that. And they brought in a Nyheim Hines out of North Carolina State. Now, Nyheim Hines is only 5'8", 198, so he's your passing guy, your scat back,
right.
Kind of like a Tariq Cohen type. And I think Mac, even though he can catch out of the backfield, I think they'll still split, but Mac, in my opinion, is the better back to have. I look for him to take over the every down back role like Gore had, and they'll use Hines in the gadget plays or whatnot. And you can get Mac late. I mean, his ADP is 9.5. He's RB 34 right now.
Yeah.
If Luck's under center, Mac's a great play.
I even like him if Brissett's there.
I think ultimately it's going to be Marlon Mack's job, and I think it's going to be, hey, we're going to let you have the keys to the car. Can you drive it straight into the end zone? If you can't, if you've got fumbling issues, if you're not doing well in pass blocking, or you're not getting the yardage that we want to get, I think that they'll kind of then do the whole Hines and Mack combo. But I think initially it's going to be Mack with the volume.
Well, Gore was good for like 10 to 12 points last year.
True.
And Mack, in my opinion, is more athletic. He catches more out of the backfield, so I think his upside's even better than that.
Well, I think he'll get it early, and if he can't produce, that's when they'll be looking elsewhere. But I like it.
He's growing on me a lot.
And a ninth round, I don't think that's horrible.
9.5, that's great. Give it to me all day.
Right.
Well, no, and when are you going to find guys that late that are the back?
Exactly. That's my point.
True. All right. Who do you have as your starting? Do you have a veteran? Oh, you picked all rookies.
Oh, yeah. I'm on the rookie hype train over here.
He's all about the rookie hype train here. What do we got?
All right. My first one, I can't believe he's going round 9.
Yeah.
Running back 33, but it's Rashard Penny.
Woo. Penny for your thoughts.
Yeah, he is.
Goodness.
Listen, Seattle needs a guy like this. They've been lacking it since Marshawn Lynch is gone. They need all 3 down guy. He's going to catch the ball in the backfield. He's going to run the ball a ton. He fits perfectly in that system. I don't really see what else. And they drafted a lot of capital in him, first round pick. I mean, he's the guy. And his competition behind him is nothing. I mean,
Chris Carson. I mean, I like Carson, but
McKissick,
he's coming
Carson.
off a huge injury.
Right. I mean, his Rawls. I mean, it's
Rawls is not even.
He's not
there.
even there no more, yeah.
He's
even
gone.
better.
He's gone.
Even better.
It's Carson and McKissick.
Are your
There
two
you go.
big guys.
So I mean, I just can't believe his ADP is only as low as he is now because he's a rookie.
yeah.
An offense like that, I think he's going to be a great pick. And look, circle back. I mean, he's got potential to be up there.
Yeah. I mean, as long as he can, I think it's the same concept. Even though he has, in my opinion, the clear-cut RB1 at this moment, I think that even though he is young, as long as he can pass protect and he could do something out of the backfield, which that's primarily what they want. They want somebody who can run between the tackles and can catch out of the backfield every once in a while, but make sure that when Wilson's doing his backyard football, running around 20 yards, please block somebody. I think that's literally the 3 keys that they need you to do. I just need you to fall forward for a couple yards every time you touch the ball. I need you to be able to catch the ball when I throw it to you on random moments, and I need you to block for Russell Wilson. That's pretty much all they're asking for.
Mainly the third one.
Right.
He needs all the help he can get blocking. That O-line is straight trash.
I mean, look at, specifically, Marshawn Lynch. Wasn't really a big catching out of the backfield. Fell forward for yards, positive yards every time, and was great at blocking.
Yeah.
That's all that was pretty much what they asked of him. And I think that Rashard Penny can come in and pretty much fill in and be what they've been looking for post Lynch.
Well, don't totally rule him out of the passing game because, I mean, they lost Jimmy Graham. I mean, Baldwin and Lockett are really your 2 big outside weapons. I think he's going to – that's also
Brandon Marshall.
Well, it's my bad. Brandon Marshall.
Hype train.
That also, I don't think Marshall eats into Penny's red zone. No. That's the other thing. I really like him in the red zone.
I like Penny, too. That's a good pick.
All right. Anything else on Rashard Penny?
Nah.
No more Penny for your thoughts. All right. My final one is a rookie as well. It's going to be Royce Freeman. Now, he was the 2018 draft pick, round 3, pick number 7. So it was still early on in the draft. And, I mean, the biggest thing for me is there's no true running back 1 in Denver. We talked about potentially if they did not draft a running back, that Booker was going to be slated to be the guy. Well, they brought in Royce Freeman.
Bye
Booker. Bye Henderson. Because those guys are the only running backs that are returning for 2017 from last year. So, no more C.J. Anderson's a big one. Funny that I picked Royce Freeman and C.J. Anderson. 2017, C.J. Anderson had 273 touches on the year for about 17 touches a game. Jamal Charles had 92 for the year for about 6.6 a game while he was playing. So I'm just saying you've got somewhere roughly around, a little over almost 400. Is that right? I'm not good at math. So what is that? 575. We'll just say over 300 touches, and that's literally what he's falling into offensively. And the offensive coordinator Bill Musgrave is returning where they were the 8th in rushing attempts in the NFL, 12th in rushing yards. However, rushing touchdowns, they were 25th. Not so great, but I think that Royce Freeman is a little bit better, going to be able to get some more touchdowns than what they had in years past. Now, play call-wise, it is 45% rush versus 55% pass over the what this Musgrave guy's play calling.
Their quarterbacks were garbage.
I was going to say, will this change now with Keenum there?
Well,
I don't know how much.
From my understanding, Vance Joseph believes that the run game is the core to the offense, And even though they did bring in Case Keenum, and I don't think he said that is a upgrade from previous quarterbacks, but essentially, if you read between the lines, does improve the offensive passing game. They still want to run the ball because that's where their offense is going to run through. They've got a really good offensive line. They've got, in my opinion, Keenum is a way better upgrade than anything they've had. And then they went in, and I think that helps Demaryius Thomas. I think that helps Emmanuel Sanders, and I think that helps the two young guys coming in, Hamilton and Sutton. I think those guys are going to be able to help out in some way. So I just think the biggest thing for me, C.J. Anderson finished as a running back 17 last year. So I'm just saying, in 2017, with 1,000 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, 245 receiving yards, and a receiving touchdown. I just think that with the frame that you've got with Freeman, he's a bigger built guy, 6'2", 229, and he can catch out of the backfield. Obviously, he played at Oregon. You have to be a catching back, and also he's good at pass blocking. So that's a key, in my opinion. I've got him as my running back 28 right now. So, which could potentially jump more if you see some injuries to other teams and/or
if it becomes totally his backfield, and it's really going to jump.
Or because you put him on your list, it could backfire and he could be injured.
Yep, he'll be on next week's news and notes.
Right. So I'm just saying these are guys that you're looking at rounds 9 through 14 or 15. Yeah. And these guys, Royce Freeman could be an RB1 in Denver, seeing all the volume, and
you're getting them late.
You're getting him that late. So I mean, Kamara was going way late and/or undrafted.
Right.
Just saying. So. All right, what do you got as your final guy?
I'm going to keep on this rookie hype train that we got going on here.
Yep, everyone's getting on the train that Trimboli started.
I'm taking Ronald Jones II.
Ooh.
He was the 38th overall pick. Big thing, no more Doug Martin. Muscle hamster is gone.
Yes.
The Ninja Turtle reject. Loss of 147 touches. That's
I think he rides around one of those hamster balls, too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But, the only thing that stinks is Ronald Jones right now is listed as the RB2 behind Jacquizz Rodgers. But I don't think that's going to last. Jacquizz Rodgers 5'7", 190. Jones is 5'11", 205. So he's much more, he's bigger physical and he's more durable. He can also run through the tackles and catch out of the backfield. So he's a 3-down back. And his current ADP right now is round 10, pick 6.
Not bad.
RB38. Yeah. I like his upside more than Jacquizz Rodgers.
Well, and he came out of an offense that used him in all aspects, whether it's under center as a handoff, play action, coming out of the backfield, and/or going out wide. I mean, he was used in several different ways with that USC offense, and I think that's great.
I mean, Jacquizz Rodgers has been there for 2 or 3 seasons now, and their run game still, hasn't progressed. They need a running back that can take the pressure off Jameis Winston.
True.
And I think this is the guy.
They need something because Jameis Winston has proven that he's not able to do it just through the air by himself.
It still bothers me about Tampa Bay that they have that much talent on the offensive side of the ball and they can't produce anything. It makes me upset.
I don't understand it. It's like a Madden Ultimate Madden team type thing, and then you still can't win games.
Right, it's trash.
I mean, Fitzpatrick replaced him at one point. Anyways.
Yeah, but like I said, Winston's problems between the ears.
I know, but, I don't care. Look who you have on your team. All you have to do is throw to these guys. You got Evans, Deshaun Jackson, Howard, Brait, Jones. There's no reason why.
I know, but you want your quarterback to be smart.
I get it, and I'm not saying he's not smart, but I'm saying that I don't know. It's next. Let's just go. I'm getting mad.
Let's continue on with this Jameis Winston talk.
Here, you know what? I got this for you. There you go. Equaled it out for your wits.
That was me last year having Mike Evans as my number 1 pick.
Don't worry, it was me after I got him from you.
So, just transferred frustration. Go ahead. What do you got as your final guy?
For my final guy, it's not a popular one, and a lot of things have to fall into place for this to actually work for him. But I like Kerryon Johnson for the Detroit Lions. The running back coach came out and said that they think he's going to be an all 3-down back. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen right away. He's still got to beat out LeGarrette Blount for the early downs, and then Theo Riddick. He's perfect in that third down role.
And he's proven
right. But Kerryon Johnson coming out of Auburn, he did all the things you want him to do. He's got a ton of attempts, he's got a ton of yards, and he can catch the ball in the backfield. I think he fits the mold what the Lions want. Now it's just whether or not he gets the volume to put him up there. So that's my only caveat I get on this whole thing is whether or not he's going to get the volume to bring him up there. But I think after the first couple of weeks, it will go get LeGarrette Blount's way. I don't think it's just going to transition into Kerryon Johnson, and sky's the limit then at that point.
I can see that.
I mean, LeGarrette Blount is very touchdown dependent, and it's not like he breaks off tons of yards, and he's not a very great back out of the backfield to catch.
Right,
So.
and he'll eat up the red zone numbers. I think they brought LeGarrette Blount in just for that short yardage, and then the goal line.
Well, that's what they've been missing for a long time in Detroit. Was that ground and pound guy? They haven't had that.
No.
Just with Kerryon Johnson, you don't have to change anything on offense. When he's in there, he can do both. So
True.
I like it.
I like it.
Rolling deep on the rookies.
Rookies are starting to get the hype, and they're
the lower end rookies. We're not even talking about like the higher guys.
No, we're not talking.
They
about
all went. It's just it's crazy. They all went to good the situations where the team needed them, and it fits what they do, their style. It's not that they just grabbed a big guy because he needed them.
Well, I mean, even that like Darius Geis and Saquon Barkley both went to good fits.
I mean, Sonny Michel.
Yeah,
I think that's the first time that they've drafted a running back in the first round. I mean, I'm just saying they don't draft running backs that early for that reason.
He's got sneaky upside.
Oh yeah,
especially in PPR.
With him, it's the New England thing. It's whether or not they're going to stick with him, or are they going to let Rex Burkhead all of a sudden come in and mix it up.
You know what? I hated on Rex Burkhead so much last year, but he turned out to be really good. I could see Michelle even being better than that.
Yeah. I just think that you saw what they want to do through Dion Lewis. I just think Dion Lewis was unreliable from an injury aspect. I mean, last year was the first year that Dion Lewis was healthy and saw a ton of volume. I mean, they fed him the ball on run game, passing downs. I mean, it did not matter. They were just the ball was going through Dion Lewis every time, whether it was on the pass, whether it was a run. They were using him in so many different aspects, and it was drawing the defense out wide or short and getting guys over the top. And now with no Edelman potentially, I mean, if this holds and it's a 4-game suspension, I tell you, my 3 wide receivers to take now are going to be, I think Hogan's volume goes up. I think that I just drew a blank. Malcolm Mitchell's volume goes up, but I think a surprising guy, Jordan Matthews, is there. I'm just saying he's the slot guy.
I think Gronk's value goes up even more.
Gronk's is going to be through the roof, ridiculous. He might even go in the first round with this issue.
What's crazy about Jordan Matthews, I agree with both. I think he is the guy that could see an uptick in targets. But I agree with Blackburn, where it's just you don't get excited about Jordan Matthews.
No. Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying that I want.
In general, but I get what you're saying, though. It makes sense.
If I had the choice, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say if I had the choice between the two, I'm taking Hogan over.
Yeah. We're not. He's not saying that either. I'm just saying I think what Pickle's trying to. His point was just that he's going to see an uptick in volume, which could be a sneaky play.
Right. He's an underneath. Yeah. He's not over the top guy. He's a lot of short routes, a lot of underneath dunk passes, which is what Brady's been kind of doing of late. And that was the whole point of Edelman. Edelman wasn't the guy that you were expecting to go down the sideline and catch an 80-yard bomb. It was the guy that was catching the ball 5 yards, make a guy's miss, and he's running for another 10 or 15 yards. I mean, every time. But without him, you don't have an Amendola there anymore. So you don't have that kind of like transition where it just falls into Amendola's lap. I mean, you got a lot of nobody. In my opinion, nobody really fits what Edelman does now. I mean, you don't have those guys. Type of player is not there, in my opinion. I mean, Gronk's going to be going through the roof after this if he's really gone for 4 games.
And the running backs. I mean,
And I think that's where I was trying to transition into is like Sonny Michel's use. As long as Sonny Michel does not fumble the ball and does what he needs to on passing downs for pass protection, he could be a 30-down guy, honestly. Now, he's never really had the chance to be that main guy at Georgia, but I'm just saying – he's used to playing with talented running backs alongside of him, and it didn't scare him off from competition. I mean, he had Nick Chubb there, and it didn't bother him.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just think if Burkhead might, swing out a little bit. You might see him in the slot.
He could.
True.
Man, if he does that, what a steal.
True.
Oh, yeah, because he's going late.
All right. That's the show for today. We want to say thanks again to all of you for tuning in today's show, whether it's the podcast or YouTube. Please check out our site, thehateful8ff.com, where you can check out articles and apparel. Follow our personal accounts at jpickleTH8FF, at jblackburnTH8FF, and at ftrimTH8FF. Don't forget to join the Average Donation via our Patreon tab on the site, where you can sign up and pre-order the 2018 our 2018 NFL Fantasy Draft Loadout. Finally, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is growing like wildfire.
Yeah, smash that like button.
Oh, yes, please do. Or leave us a review on...
Or drop a comment that you don't like pickle or Blackburn sticks. Whatever you want to do.
We don't care. We'll take all criticism.
Right, anything.
I take all the compliments.
Or you can give us a compliment or rate us, whether you like us or not, on Apple Podcasts as well.
So, absolutely.
What about Duke and Chubb in the land of Mayfield for a TV show?
I like it. You know, the Duke likes the Duke.
There it is, Baker Mania. All right, thanks again, and we will see you all next week.
One more time. There ain't no one like these three. You know you just heard Pickle, Blackburn, and Trimboli. Give the goods talking about nothing but fantasy football. Yeah, it's your year to dominate and to wear that ring. Prepare for the draft and dial in on your craft. Quarterback, the first round is a good choice, you ask? This guy's got first round pick, a favorite? Not so fast. He failed to tune into Hateful Eight. He's a chump finishing